This episode is all about how and where to find those readers that'll help you on your journey, and also how to get the best value for money out of their support. So let's get started. As covered in the first episode, there are broadly two types of reader. One that will help you shape your story and make the document the very best it can be. And then on the other side, there is the commercial reader, those that are the gateways to agents or to competitions, who will give you feedback on the marketability of your project, should it pass the desk of producers, writers, or directors. The latter would claim to do both of those roles, however, but that's not always the case. So before handing over cash for paid readers, reach out to your peers locally, both through local writing groups as well as online forums. Local writing groups are a brilliant part of your support network, so you should aim to make as many friends who share your ambition in terms of writing and also acting as you possibly can. You help them and they help you. Local groups have a mixed level of skills and experience, so don't be afraid to continue to look until you've got a network that you think meets your needs. Another great way to meet readers and like-minded peers is through writing festivals and events. Also, reach out to your local university and college, as they will often have courses on screenwriting or do events or workshops. In many cases, those university and college lecturers are also readers or writers professionally. So do a bit of Googling and find out exactly what resource you have on your doorstep. The other great resource is to reach out to local amateur dramatics groups. Actors and producers there spend a lot of time working with plays and professional as well as amateur written material, and they're a really good sounding board when it comes to especially dialogue. When it comes time to seek those professional readers, start with your local peers first and get recommendations wherever possible. As covered in the first episode, make sure that you get your feedback from readers and from peers in a standardized format that you dictate. Don't just let those readers give you the document formats that they produce. Treat finding a professional reader the same way as you would finding an agent. Do a query email first, do some Googling, and then approach them and ask them for a rate for a half-hour introductory call. This is a great way to get to know them. It also proves that you're serious, because an exchange of money at any level shows that you have commitment and also means to continue professionally with the relationship, but it also establishes their half-hour or hourly rate right up front. Don't ever send material unsolicited and without agreeing terms first. Those terms needn't be onerous. At the end of the day, you'll be paying for feedback before you get it, but you do want to make sure that you retain all rights to the material that you send, and also that those readers are not keeping any of those documents unless you want them to do so. I've listed some reader resource in the comments section below, and if you've worked with readers that you recommend or agencies, then please stick them in the comments section as well, and we can care and share together. You can download a feedback template form from our website and use the discount code at the end of this episode to get that download for free. For commercial reports, start by researching your local and national film and television agencies and email them for advice or recommendations. Many will run grant-funded courses and events, and they're a great opportunity to network with other writers and readers. This will vary, no doubt, from country to country, of course, so you're better off doing some Googling wherever you're based. Consider your movie's audience. Where do you see this movie playing? Where are the cinemas where people are going to be lined up to see it? Is it a local film? Is it a national film, or even perhaps international? Depending on where you see it, you need to be getting some market advice from that very marketplace. Most of the big screenwriting competitions offer reader services through the likes of industry execs, so they are a great resource, whether you do that directly through the competition or outside of it. But again, make sure you get what you ask for, not what they just give you. So firstly, if you're serious about becoming a writer, then you need to invest in you. So you'd be advised to set yourself a budget so that you can use that to retain professional reader services. What we'll cover in this series in a lot more detail is how you make sure that you get a good rate of return on that investment and that you tangibly see benefits in your writing. So make sure you click the subscribe and the little bell thingy so that you'll get notifications when those further episodes land. For the purposes of this series, let's use these indicative costs as an idea for budgeting purposes. And don't get too hung up on the values, they're going to change from country to country. As discussed in the last episode, feedback works best if you adopt a milestone approach so that you can get all of the feedback on that particular draft in one go. It's clear from the menu of costs that we can see on screen that the less a reader has to read, the less you have to pay, which of course makes perfect sense. But what that means is that the best approach for you is to get those readers to look at smaller documents rather than full screenplays. So in this example, I'm going to plan for 3 milestones for my single page outline, and have allowed for 3 rounds of professional feedback as the drafts progress. Just to clarify, this doesn't mean we've only written a page so far. In reality, you might have outlined 100 pages of notes in your story, but you're distilling the story down again to a single page in order to get the best value for feedback. So going back to the example again, I'm going to skip getting professional advice on a 12-page treatment, but I expect a milestone when I complete my 32-page treatment to make sure everything is where it needs to be. As your story develops, the size of the documents increases, but by using milestones, you get confidence that the big-ticket items, such as premise and structure, are sound. Incidentally, a 32-page treatment is almost like a screenplay but without the dialogue. If you've got an hourly rate agreed, you can also pay to have a script development call as opposed to getting written feedback. So once you've built a good relationship with your reader, you might want to explore putting some money on account so that you can just dip in and out. So if you're in, for example, polishing or outlining stage specifically, you might want to just drop them a quick email or have a quick call, and they can just effectively kind of knock 15-minute slots off your bill. The important point here is that you're starting to take control of how you get feedback that works best for you. Many readers will take payment through PayPal just because it's convenient, but it's actually not the most cost-effective way to do it, because there are charges, and certainly more charges if you have currency conversions. So if you've got some suggestions about how you've got better value for money out of the readers you've engaged, then please stick them in the comments section below. Still to come in this series, we've got how to take feedback and work with it constructively, and also how to use script coverage and scoring specifically as a development tool to improve your screenplays. And that is a brilliant episode. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Please subscribe and click the little bell notification. If you want the worksheet that accompanies this series, then please visit clickimagination.com or follow the links somewhere around here. Thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Happy writing.